Welcome to our 220,000 kilometer or 140,000 mile update on our 2008 Toyota Tundra shop truck. If you guys watched our last episode on the Tundra, we called that like a 60,000 mile update, and I think that confused some people because that was actually just the mileage that we put on the previous set of tires. I think it had like 160,000 kilometers on it at that time, and now it's at almost 220,000 kilometers, so around 140,000 miles, and it's been a flawless truck for us. It does work all day long, and frankly, I've neglected it pretty badly in recent months, maybe even in recent years. It's way overdue for an oil change. The brakes are worn out and have gotten kind of soft on us. It's dirty. I'll show you the inside in a minute. I'm a dad. I got 2 kids. It's a pigsty in there. And maybe most relevantly, I got rear-ended this summer. I got nailed in the back end. I'm at a stoplight in stop-and-go traffic, and a woman behind me literally fell asleep at the wheel in a Cadillac Escalade and rear-ended me and pushed me like 20 feet forward, just nudging the car in front of me even. That's how hard she hit me. The truck actually took it amazingly well. The only thing that really was damaged was the rear bumper, or the chrome bumper cover, and the trailer hitch really took the brunt of it, and it sort of got bent downwards. So we've got some replacement parts to do back there, as well as a complete overhaul of the brake system because it really does need that. And as a dad, I'm driving around on a mud and snow tire, which sounds like it's appropriate for the weather here, but truth be told, a true winter tire is much better in icy or really slippery conditions, which we do get a lot around here in Ontario. So I wanted a good winter wheel and tire package as well. So that's an update that's coming today as well. Before we get down to the hard work, I'll just show you the embarrassment of what it's like to be a dad with a hectic schedule. I've got a lot of empty calories on the floor here. Got Tim Hortons wrappers, more Tim Hortons. I got goldfish. I got Pete's favorite food in the world, Mars bar.
Ooh,
he would never eat that poison, would you, Pete?
No.
I got a pizza napkin. I've got oily rags from checking the oil. I've got the good sauce that we'll be putting in there because this thing is like at 15,000 kilometers since my last oil change, which is a little bit of a long interval.
Wow, that looks so much better, DP.
It does.
Looks like a clean truck.
Looks like a grown-up drives that truck now.
I know, man.
Not a
oh man.
child.
I gotta say though, a couple of weird things I noticed. The little cup holder here had this super nasty,
gnarly.
like, what is this? Years of like buildup? Or
I would say that's like honeycombs that's been mashed into a paste.
Oh my
like coffee and
God.
tea spills and juice.
That's filthy.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of honeycombs, I feel like you've had a squirrel in here because there are honeycombs up in this.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Sunglass holder there.
Yeah, that's my younger son. He likes to stash stuff up in there.
They're a little crusty, a little old, but I'm just gonna leave them up there because I figure, you know what? That's that.
Well, at least he didn't find any weed up there, buddy.
That's true. Nothing, no illegal stuff. What I did realize is you're running like an older dash cam.
I am.
I see you did a tape job. Something was falling apart there.
Yeah, the hinge failed.
So
on it.
this was a good opportunity for me to upgrade you to a Vava dash cam.
Oh, cool.
It's really cool, actually. This one, usually you have a screen, right?
Yep.
Now this one is all through Bluetooth on your phone.
Oh, nice.
It's a super 4K, really nice app and all that jazz. So it's kind of like the next level up. Really cool. If you want more information, check out. I'll make sure to put a link in the description. So I think, one last thing. In case you're wondering, we did use a bunch of Sonax product to clean this truck with. That's kind of our go-to. So
Got to say that interior Sonax stuff smells really good too.
exactly, that's why we love it. It's
Better than
pretty
Cheerios
unique.
and honeycombs.
It's unique in
It
that
is.
sense. It has like a really nice smell. So
Yeah.
if you like nice smells and you like nice interiors, check them out. But I think now it is time to really get onto these brakes because I'm dying to see what they look like. Here is what 120,000 kilometers of hard abuse looks like, everybody. These were DBA rotors that we put on this truck 3 or 4 years ago now, I think. Pete? I think so, yeah.
They have seen a lot of miles, and a lot of those miles were towing, including Pete towing his Porsche down to Arizona and California, and us towing cars to Grid Life, and picking up cars in America, towing them back up here. So it's had a workout, and they owe us nothing. You can see that the slots are basically worn smooth with the face of the rotor. So they are done. Man, I'm getting brake fluid all over me. We disconnected the brake line as we are replacing these calipers, which, as you can see, have seen a better day. And man, those brake pads are getting low.
They were like super close to being done.
The ones on the other side were actually even closer to the backing plate. So these are going to the recycler, I guess, eh, Pete?
I think so.
All right.
That came off super easy, right, DP?
Yeah, I only had to hit it with a sledgehammer a little bit to get it off there, but we did actually put anti-seize on here before we installed these, but yeah, these things are done.
Ooh-wee. Look at that.
They lived a hard life, but they did the job for a long time, so.
We certainly got a ton of miles out of
did.
them, so
We did.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, it was a great setup, but excited to show you what we're replacing it with. And here we have it, everyone. This is our Power Stop front rotor, which comes in this silver zinc coating, which I think looks
Yeah, I like it a lot.
looks really
Wow.
nice. And looks like it's already been cleaned. There's no like oil or anything on it. Maybe because it's been zinc coated, they don't have to treat it to prevent it from rusting during shipping. I'm guessing that is the case. And they do say that this coating is designed to prevent the rotor from rusting. And as you can see, it's also cross-drilled and slotted. And I like the way they've chamfered the edges of the cross drilling. So the drilling is to help with cooling. The slotting is to help with refreshing the pad. And these are part of their Z36 Extreme Duty truck and towing package, which is what we've gone with. So you can buy these individually, or you can buy them as part of a kit with pads and with calipers like we have. So you'll see the rest of the kit momentarily, but these are designed for heavy duty use and towing. So I think they're gonna be a worthy replacement on our Tundra here. There we've got our caliper, everyone, part of the Power Stop Z36 kit. And as you can see, it is in this red coating, which at first I was like, I don't know if I really want red calipers on my non-race car truck here, but then I started to think, wait a minute, look how rusty those old calipers were and how this coating is actually probably going to do a much better job of preventing rust. And suddenly racer red calipers seemed a lot cooler to me. As part of this Z36 or Z36, as we say here in Canada, towing package are these extreme duty pads from Power Stop, which have some pretty cool features to them. They're made of a ceramic material, so they're low dust and low noise, but they also have some carbon fiber infused in them, which give it higher initial bite and better heat resistance. So they're apparently very great high performance pads for, you know, if you're towing downhill for long distances, say you're descending out of the Rocky Mountains on your way to a racetrack in California, these can really take that prolonged exposure to heat. So they are a true extreme duty pad that'll work really well when we're towing, and I think also work really well for daily driving because they're low noise and low dust. So, and there you have it, our Power Stop Z36 truck and towing kit installed in the front and looking good. And by the way, I should mention that this kit for all four corners costs under $900 US, which is pretty remarkable. I believe it's by far the cheapest option out there for what is a real upgrade over the OE components. So great value.
As you can see, the brake caliper is gone, and so is the rotor. It's pretty standard fare, nothing to really complain about, other than we have a little bit of uneven wear going on here.
Yeah, wow.
So I think our calipers are maybe past due. So we're gonna be changing all that stuff out with the Power Stop stuff. So, whew, look at that. What an easy job, haha.
You work fast, PT.
I do,
Looking
and
good.
Check it out. You know, for me, it's one of those things, if you're doing your brakes and your calipers on, you know, rust belt cars, once every 10 years, if you've owned a car long enough, you just got to replace everything. And by that, I mean the calipers. Obviously, rotors are a wear item, but the calipers, you just got to replace it. Everything's new, everything's fresh. So we're going to bleed the brakes and we're moving on.
All right, it's time to drain the oil out of the Tundra here. And as you can see, I've removed the skid plate that's here so that I could change the oil filter, which I've already done. Put a K&N filter in there because, well, we use those in everything, don't we, Pete?
Yes, we do.
And now it's time to see what kind of shape this 15,000+ kilometer Valvoline high mileage 5W20 is in. Here we go. It is pretty dark. Time to crack the filler cap off here and
What's wrong? Come on.
there it goes. Holy cow. Whew, this is what happens when you take your truck to a quickie lube place and the guy that fills it up is a Neanderthal.
Superman? Yeah.
Apparently. So anyhow, we are open for business here, and by the way, I checked my records and I am closer to 20,000 kilometers on this oil interval. So shame on me, everybody. In any case, the good news is we did fill it with Valvoline's high mileage oil, which does an exceptional job of protecting higher mileage motors like this, not only through its additive package, but it actually has a special formulation that prevents oil leaks. It's like their top of the line full synthetic oil, so it has their best additive package. It does, you know, all the kinds of cleaning and wear protection that you want in a high mileage vehicle like this, as well as that additive to prevent oil leaks. So it's I think it's the perfect oil for this engine. And there you have it, 7 liters in the sump, and we are ready for another 20,000 kilometers. No, I'm gonna cut it down to 8 to 10 maybe. This being such a high quality synthetic, I think I could probably run it safely for 8 to 10. Normally I try to do it at like 5 to 7 if I'm honest, but lately, well, you guys know the story. So by the way, that Max Life technology is the stuff I was yapping about as far as it preventing oil leaks, and you can see that this high mileage stuff is all the stars all the time, including protecting against deposit formation and sludge buildup, which I certainly tested on this last interval. So
here it is, my first attempt at undercoating a vehicle. Warning, I've never done this before, I've never used this before, but this is Fluid Film's special coating system. So it's essentially an undercoating system. Comes with this big tub of fluid film and in a non-aerosol, and it comes with these other special lines so you can like get inside all the crevices. But this is kind of the piece de resistance, which is the aerosol gun right here. So let's start spraying and see what happens. The nozzle's adjustable too, I do know that. So I don't know how much comes out, or let's see. Oh, wow. Oh, that's cool, man. That's really cool.
Really well.
That's gonna be really awesome. I'm actually gonna dial this in a little bit to get a little bit more coming out, I think.
yeah,
Let's see what happens.
puts it on a nice thin layer though.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Oh yeah, see now it's like thicker. I like that right there.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Woo! Holy! Well, that was pretty awesome. You could see it's definitely a vapor in the air. So we're gonna see how the shop looks like in a couple of days, but I don't think it's bad. It's just very, very fine right now.
Shop's not gonna rust.
No, I know, exactly. And we've covered up the cars and whatnot. So what I forgot to show you before is, check this out. This is the consistency of what I'm spraying. It's like this really thick
buttery
wax. Yeah, wax-based or lanolin-based goo, or I don't know what you want to call it, but it's super cool. I thought it was gonna drip everywhere, like what you're used to with a lot of like rust prevention oils. They just like drip like crazy. This stuff sticks. Like there is not a drop on the ground here, which is really, really cool. So you know, you don't have to have that whole period of like letting a car sit around until it like drips or weeps or whatever it is.
It's that time, everybody, for the big wheel and tire reveal. Always the most exciting part of any kind of episode where you're changing wheels and tires, because nothing changes the look and the performance of your car or truck or SUV or minivan more than wheels and tires do. And we have gone with these Mamba wheels. This is their M22 model, which is finished in this gloss black with these ball cut exposed aluminum accents in the spokes, as well as these circular indents, which almost give it like a sort of a riveted look around the outside.
Beadlocks, right?
Beadlocks, yeah, I guess it is a beadlock look, isn't it? It's a 18x9 zero offset, which is the exact same spec as my summer wheels. And we know that's gonna give us a nice flush look with the TRD fender flares on the truck. So it's perfect fitment for the Tundra. Frankly, it's just exciting to change up the wheels on the truck to give it a new look. So it's not just what I would call a winter wheel. I think it's a great looking wheel for any season, and I'm excited to see how they look on the truck. As for rubber, we have gone with Continental Viking Contact 7s. This is a brand new winter tire that they have thrown all the tricks of the trade at. It is a top of the line winter tire with, as you can see, a lot going on here in the tread pattern. Not only the shape of the main blocks, but the sipes. Look at the shape of all the siping and
There's
how
like
it,
mini sipes in there too, right?
so many sipes, and in the inner tread blocks, the siping pattern changes and the direction of the sipes change. And if you look in the grooves, actually, deep down in the grooves here, Pete, there's like a interlocking pattern down there, and that stabilizes these bigger tread blocks for better dry weather handling. It kind of like locks this together, so you don't get that typical tread squirm that's really annoying with winter tires. So this will perform really well in dry conditions, but it is an exceptional performer in icy conditions, slushy conditions, snowy conditions, because of all the siping that they have in this, as well as the the active silica compound in here. It actually has rapeseed oil in it, which apparently interacts with snow and ice in a way that gives it more grip. It's just a technological powerhouse of a winter tire. So I'm stoked to put these on because I know I'm gonna have maximum traction in any conditions. And that's important for a dad like me who wants to bring his kids home safe. So,
Or when we're towing in the winter.
That too. And this is a proper rated tire for a truck that can tow up to 10,000 pounds. So no worries there either. And I'm really curious to see how it changes the ride quality. Man, these things look so good.
They're fantastic.
The offset's perfect, and I gotta say the black and like ball cut look on a dark truck like this looks really good. So I'm stoked on it, although it's kind of a shame the truck's so dirty on the outside. So why don't we give it a quick wash and show you guys the real deal. Bam! And there you have it, everybody. Look at that. It is cleaned up, and I'm kind of cleaned up myself too. It's looking like a real truck now. I'm excited to see the progress we've made here, but there is still that crash damage in the rear to deal with, so let's do that right now. With Old Faithful here up in the lift, you can get a closer look at the buttectomy that Escalade gave her. And it's not pretty, but it's not as bad as it could have been. I mean, the fact that she pushed me as far as she did and the only damage was to this chrome bumper and the hitch getting bent down is pretty remarkable. She paid for the replacement value of these parts, and had she whacked the door too, I would have got a free door out of it. But anyway, I think this rust is something we'll deal with in another episode in the future, or maybe I just replace the whole thing, because you can actually buy these skins pretty cheap. What you can't buy cheap though is this hitch, which from the dealership is like over $2,000. It's insane. And even the chrome bumper is like 500 bucks. And so we thought, you know what, let's go to the aftermarket, let's see what's there. It turns out there's some really good options for hitches, which are gonna represent an upgrade for us. There you have it, everybody. We have removed the factory trailer hitch receiver here, and as you can see, it's seen better days. It is rusty and it is bent from that impact. And I found this Kurt XD extra duty class 5 hitch for, well, it retails for like $447, but if you do a Google search, you'll find it on sale for less than that on Amazon and a few other websites. So it is, what's that, like a quarter of the price? It's so much cheaper. It's not even in the same ballpark, and yet it is more heavy duty. This is a class 5 hitch. The factory one is a class 4 hitch. I believe the factory one is rated to tow 12,000 pounds and a tongue weight of 1,200 pounds. This class 5 guy is rated for 16,000 gross trailer weight and 2,400 gross tongue weight. So it is a beefier boy, and I mean, as you can see, this bracket that most of the side of it is thick. Really, on a truck that can tow 10,500 pounds, having a hitch that can support 16,000 pounds is overkill, but after taking that rear impact, I figured let's go big on it, and frankly, at a quarter of the cost of the OE one, there's no reason not to go to an overkill hitch like this one is, really, for our needs. Bolting it up is really simple. It's designed to bolt to a couple of factory pickup points here, and then these wings bolt to the side of it here. So I think it's time we get to installing it. That's it, we're done, everybody. How do you like the new Time Attack rear end on my Tundra here? We decided to run that bumperless look, you know, let the air evacuate out of the backside for more rear downforce on this. Or we've come to the sad realization that we made a boo-boo, and that boo-boo is that this hitch is designed for Tundras without the factory tow package. The factory tow package, like I have on my Tundra, has the rebar integrated into the hitch. So there's these plates on the end of the rebar that would normally go here that we don't have because they're built into the hitch. So what we've done to solve that problem is ordered a factory rebar from LKQ, who are a local car part recycler. They're a wrecking yard. It's a couple days later and our non-towing package rebar showed up. I thought we were buying a used one off of a Tundra, but turns out this is actually an aftermarket one that's brand spanking new, and I gotta say, I'm not angry about it because it looks good and it's beefy. So for what it cost, what was that guy? It was
$250.
$250. It Canadian, so it was cheap. So let's bolt this thing up and see if the rest of everything else bolts to it. And there you have it. The non-towing package rebar is bolted in place. No big dramas, although the mounting of this 7-pin plug for the trailer brakes required a little bit of effort. The mounting location that's standard on this wasn't quite right for where the curt bar is, so we had to move it forward a bit, which meant drilling a couple holes, putting riv nuts, and bolting it in place. And just like that, the chrome bumper is bolted on. I replaced this plastic piece. This is the original plastic piece, and you can see some of these clips that hold it to the chrome bumper are broken. And again, I bought this one on Amazon because it was a third the cost and appears to be identical to the OE piece, so I don't think I've given up any quality there. I've also put in new license plate lights here because they were broken. And what else, Pete? Oh, this Speed Academy license plate frame, which could be yours if you just go to our merch store. There'll be a link in the description to that. You can get hats and hoodies and license plate frames and stickers and maybe even keychains. Do we still have keychains and stuff?
I think we do.
All right.
I think we do.
We've got it all there, people, so go check that out. And man, the back end is looking new again, because it is new, isn't it? Everything back here is new now. Look at that, everyone. That is not a Hitch system like you've ever seen before. This is Kurt's new Rebellion XT shock absorbing hitch, or using what they call shop drop technology. There are other like shock absorbing hitches on the market that use bearings or airbags. This system though uses a large poly bushing actually between the hitch shank here that goes into the receiver and the main body here. You can see in this gap here, there's a poly bushing. It's quite large actually, sort of fills in this whole space. And as you would imagine with this V-shaped opening here, it allows movement here to absorb shock. So you don't get any of that like jarring or jerking that you would get with a traditional like fixed hitch assembly. It also helps get rid of any rattle that you might have in this connection back here. In fact, the way this the ball receiver pins onto this drop shank, it's almost like these are a press fit pin. They're really tight fit in there. So again, you've got no rattle at all. This thing is rated for 15,000 pounds gross trailer weight and I think 1,500 pounds tongue weight. It comes in this really cool dark gray coating, which is very rust and corrosion resistant. So it's gonna keep this high class finish for a long, long time. This, my friends, is what a trailer brake controller looks like in the 21st century. This thing kind of blows my mind because if you're like me and you've been towing for the last, 20 years, if I want to admit how old I am, you'll know how hideous installing a trailer brake controller is on your truck. You got to mount this controller under your dash somewhere. It's got these sliders on it to control how aggressively it turns on the brakes. It's very difficult to like set it up and tune it. If the weight is a little different on your trailer, it's locking up. I really dislike them. I've always struggled with them. The wiring rots out. They're a disaster. So to see that Kurt has brought out this new Kurt Echo Bluetooth brake trailer brake controller is kind of blowing my mind. So this is just, as you would expect, a Bluetooth device that plugs into your receiver here and then has its own receiver here that your trailer plugs into. And this is all a weather sealed unit, so it's completely safe to use outside. It'll last a very long time. And you then pair it with your phone, as I've already done, to their Echo app, which I've downloaded. It's available for iPhones like mine or Android phones as well. And you can set up a profile for whatever truck you're using it in or whatever trailer you're towing with it. So it's easy to transfer between multiple trailers and multiple vehicles, and it's all customizable. So you can see here down at the bottom, I can adjust the intensity or the max output of the controller, as well as how sensitive it is. I can trigger the hazard lights on the trailer. Let's say I'm towing a big enclosed trailer. I need hazard lights, but you can't see them on the truck because the trailer blocks them. I can turn it on there. And it's also very intelligent. So it will automatically reduce how much trailer braking it gives you on an incline and add more trailer braking on a decline as you would need. It's incredibly adaptable. So I'm really looking forward to playing around with this once we get hooked up to one of our trailers and sort of fine tune the settings. And then I can memorize that profile for Tundra plus 24 foot enclosed or Tundra plus 16 foot open. And I'll be able to just open that profile whenever I want and I'll be good to go and this thing will work the way I want it to work. So just like we talked about with this hitch system, we are going to show you in more detail how this all works. This is just a teaser of that. So please come back for part 2 of this Tundra refresh where we'll go and do some towing. We'll report to you on how these Continental winter tires, these Viking Contact 7s are working out, how the brakes are working, and how all this great new Kurt stuff is working. So stay tuned for that in part 2.